Alex Crooke, Fund Manager of the Bankers Investment Trust. Over the last 3 months of 2014, how have global markets performed?
They've been a little bit volatile. We had a sharp fall in markets in October, a little bit of recovery back in November, and then a little bit of weakness again in December. Worries predominantly around inflation, deflation, commodity prices. The oil price fell very sharply, and then metal prices fell as well. So I think investors very challenged about a sort of growth outlook and how markets can respond to that. So I think volatile was really how we saw things develop.
How has the Bankers Investment Trust performed in that environment?
So we've actually done okay. We produced 5% return in NAV terms over that last quarter, which was substantial. The UK market was flat, and many other markets around the world were flat. So we did better than markets, and I think that came out of good performance in America. So the American market held up well. The view is the economy is strong there, and it's continuing to deliver good growth. And our stock selection as well did very well in that market. Elsewhere, we also took advantage of that fall in markets in October to increase some investment. We increased our borrowings, bought some stocks at very good levels, and so the recovery we saw in November did aid us as well in that market. So I think we're managing these markets okay, but we need to be cautious in our outlook a little bit.
So have you shifted the asset allocation in any significant way, or perhaps made any significant new purchases or disposals in the portfolio?
Been one or two. We invested a little bit into Switzerland in that period, which seems very volatile times in January with that, and that certainly the currency has helped us with our investments there. We've reduced the UK exposure a little bit and predominantly sold defensives in the UK market, which I perceive as very expensive. So pharmaceuticals and utilities in that area. In America, we increased a little bit exposure there. Not particularly bought new stocks, just spread it around across the existing holdings. And I think some of the positions which are doing very well there are in the healthcare space, actually. Obamacare is a new process there, which is increasing the spend across the healthcare service, is going very well there. So we've made one or two purchases, but not huge position changes within the portfolio.
Okay, finally, Alex, your outlook for the coming period.
I think I see stability, actually. We've seen sort of very dominant action coming from the ECB in Europe, wanting to invest, quantitative easing within markets. That should normally, traditionally, keeps market asset prices up. Japan is doing the same. So I think the trends we've seen in the last 2 or 3 years of central banks supporting markets is going to continue for probably another 2 years going forward from here. There's challenges still about deflation. The inflation rate is very low, and if that's endemic, you may see demand ease off. But I think the lower oil price will feed through to better consumer spending. So I'm reasonably upbeat about markets. I think probably more second half than the first half of this coming year. But there's still challenges. We've got lots of unrest in parts of the world. Again, the oil price could fall even further, and that wouldn't be helpful, I think, from this level. So we need to keep monitoring it, keep focusing on the portfolio. But I'm reasonably optimistic.
Alex Crooke, thank you.
Thank you.